Everfrost was just massively buffed in 11.4, so we've been keeping a close eye and monitoring its strength throughout the patch. Our analysts have nailed down a bunch of different picks who are insane with the item, so we are stoked to be sharing with you all 12 different champions that you should be purchasing Everfrost on. Every champion we feature now has a better win percentage when rushing Everfrost compared to any other mythic, so you can be sure the item is legit for all of them. If you think we missed a champion that you've been using Everfrost on, then be sure to fill us in down in the comments below. For all your timely meta content each and every patch, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the first to get ahead of everyone else. With that being said, let's get right into it. The first champion you need to be building Everfrost on is Kassadin. Cass was already performing extremely well with the item in previous patches, and now in 11.4 has made his way into our OP tier for mid lane. Everfrost is winning 52.5% compared to Luden's at 51 and Liandry's at 50.5. The item is just so great for Cass, as it gives him a nice mix of tankiness and mana, which are stats he really needs. Everfrost active provides so much sticking power so that once you get onto your target, there's really no way of them escaping. The complete Cass build is Everfrost into Archangels and then Zhonya's. So if for some reason you haven't been purchasing Everfrost on Kassadin previously, look to abuse it in 11.4. Sylas is another champ who was seeing some decent success with Everfrost in previous patches and is now turned into his #1 mythic. Everfrost is winning 51% of the time on Sylas compared to the more popular Liandry's at 49%. Everfrost is so great for Sylas because it allows him to either perma-lock down his opponent when an E hits, or slow the enemy so that it's easier to hit his E in the first place. If you watched our Korean builds video, you'd already know the complete build of Everfrost into Zhonya's and then Cosmic Drive that's making Sylas so much stronger for 11.4. Everfrost has been highly undervalued on Anivia, even before the buffs, so you should be looking to rush it on her now. The item wins 2% more than Luden's and 3% more than Liandry's in 11.4. The amount of disruption you have when throwing in that Everfrost active is just so insane for Anivia. If one of your Q or Everfrost active hits, you then follow up with the other and chain CC the opponent for at least 2.5 to 3 seconds depending on how many points you have in Q. This just gives Anivia such insane pick power, and there's really no way the enemy can escape once they're tagged. The full build for Anivia is Everfrost into Zhonya's and then Archangels. Ryze is next up on our list, and he's been on a solid rise here with these buffs. Everfrost wins 47% of the time compared to Luden's at 46 and Liandry's at 45. The item provides Ryze with all the stats he wants with health, mana, AP, and haste, and then the active is so strong for similar reasons to Anivia. Everfrost allows Ryze to extend his initial WCC and lock the opponent down for a whole 3 seconds. Unlike Anivia, the combo is pretty much guaranteed to hit since Ryze's W is point and click. Once the enemy's rooted, there's really no way you can miss your Everfrost root unless you're a complete monkey. Capitalizing on those flash W plays and allowing your team time to follow up for the kill is just so much better with Everfrost. The complete build to run is Everfrost into Archangel second, and then the newly buffed Cosmic Drive third. Veigar is seeing much more viability now in 11.4 after his direct buffs along with rushing Everfrost. The item doesn't have as large of a win rate gap compared to some of the other champions we've mentioned, but Everfrost still wins about 1.5% more than Luden's. Being a shorter ranged mage, Veigar gets great value out of the Everfrost active since if he's in range of Q and W, he's also in range of Everfrost. The active really helps with peeling off dive champions, giving Veigar a bit more survivability. Comboing Veigar's stun with Everfrost active locks down the enemy for 3 to 4 seconds depending on your skill points in E, which gives you plenty of time to finish off kills. The full build for Veigar is Everfrost, Cosmic Drive, and then Zhonya's. Ahri really benefits a ton from rushing Everfrost as her pick power becomes way too ridiculous. Ahri wins 55% of the time with Everfrost compared to 54% with Liandry's and 52% with Luden's. If you remember back to last season with the GLP Glacial Ahri, this Everfrost setup works in a similar way. Hitting Charm is so much easier if the enemy is already slowed or rooted. You dash in with ult, use Everfrost active, and then follow with Charm to increase your hit rate by a substantial amount. Rush Everfrost, grab Zhonya's second, and then Cosmic Drive third. A pick we haven't seen in the meta for quite some time now being Lissandra has great viability with Everfrost. Stat-wise, the item wins about the same as Luden's and Liandry's with the win rates all at around 50%. As a mage who wants to be in the middle of fights, the extra health you get from Everfrost is really beneficial on Liss. Everfrost active combined with Liss W and Ultimate offer a 4-second CC lockdown, which there really isn't any counterplay to at all. If the enemy you're engaging on doesn't have a QSS, then you'll have yourself a free pick every single time. The build for Lissandra is Everfrost, Zhonya's, and then Rabadon's. Aurelion Sol is another champion we haven't seen much of in the past while, but for the few players out there, you'll be glad to know he's much stronger in 11.4. Everfrost wins about 2% more than Imperial Mandate and 4% more than Liandry's. By rushing Rylai's and picking up Everfrost second, this build gives you an insane amount of sticking power and kiting potential. Stun from Q followed up by Root from Everfrost is such a great pick combo that will net you a ton of free kills. The fact Everfrost provides both mana and health is amazing for Sol, since Liandry's was lacking the health and Mandate the mana. Rush Rylai's, grab Everfrost second, and then Zhonya's third. A champion we just featured in our Hidden Gems video for 11.4 was AP Cho'Gath, and he's really great with Everfrost too. Everfrost is winning about 1% more than Rocket Belt and Ludens on AP Cho. Whenever you land a Q with Cho'Gath, it's a guaranteed follow-up with the Root from Everfrost, and it gives you that extra time to close the gap. Throw in another auto or two and maximize your damage on the target. Receiving both health and mana is a huge benefit as well, since the alternative rush items in Rocket Belt and Ludens lack one or the other. With Cosmic Drive getting those massive buffs, it slots in nicely as a second item, followed by a Zhonya's third. Another pick we mentioned in our Hidden Gems video was Neeko Support, and she's having great success with Everfrost even in the mid lane. Everfrost is winning about the same as Rocket Belt at 52%, and then 1% more than Ludens. The total CC lockdown you've got with Neeko E, Ult, and Everfrost will make a Morgana bind feel short. On the other hand, the move speed and dash Rocket Belt provides is really great for Neeko to close the gap and get in ult range. Both items have their pros, so she's one pick in this video to where we wouldn't say Everfrost is unanimously the best rush option. Give both a shot and see which one you prefer. For second item, grab Zhonya's, and then Cosmic Drive is really underrated, slotted in third. A less common mid lane pick in Zilean is really excelling and is super underrated with Everfrost. Everfrost is winning at an astounding 56%, whereas Ludens wins 54% and Liandry's at 55%. The viability of Everfrost on Zilean comes from being able to line up your double bomb a lot easier after you slow or root them with the active. Everfrost really helps with consistency, since landing Zil double bombs aren't the easiest thing in the world. The full build to try is Everfrost into Cosmic and then Archangels. Cosmic Drive second is super insane on Zilean, since it gives all that ability haste, which is an amazing stat to stack on the champ. And the 12th and final champion we've got for you guys that you can abuse Everfrost on is Shaco Support. Shacos who rush Everfrost are winning 54% of the time compared to Liandry's at 53% and Mandate at 52%. As you stealth in with Shaco right on top of your opponent, you can get a guaranteed Everfrost root off, throw a box down, and be such a nuisance in fights. As if running into boxes and taking half your HP bar wasn't already annoying enough, this just adds a whole nother level. Zhonya's second item and then Chemtech Putrefier third are working really well to finish off your build. So there you have it, guys. Those are 12 different champions that are really excelling with Everfrost after the buffs here in 11.4. Are there any champions you think we missed or that you've been playing Everfrost on yourself? Let us know in the comments below. And for more videos like this one to get ahead of the meta, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can be the first to learn the best new strategies. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you in the next one.